Okay, can everyone hear me okay? Put a thumbs up if you can. Okay, great. And I'm going to go ahead and mute everyone right now. Oh, great. We got some people using the cool little thumbs up features. Very good. All right. So yeah, thanks everyone for getting on. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen to show the PowerPoint, and then I will let Sally take over. Give me just a second. Okay. And go ahead.
All right, well, welcome everyone. I'm Sally Barton. I'm a Vice President here at the Education Alliance. We are so excited to have all of you join us today. Olivia and I have worked for several months on this summer internship experience, and we've tried to stay in touch with many of you who expressed interest early on and applied. And of course, through no fault of any of us, we've had to be nimble and adjust so that we could offer you this meaningful experience in a virtual format. This is new for us. We look forward to your feedback, but the goal of today is to walk you through the structure of the program, some of the requirements, and then we're going to have you essentially reapply, but we already have your longer version of your application that expressed your interest. So we're going to ask you a specific question to address that you can respond to in an email. So we'll go over that as we move toward the end of our time together today. Before I go on, I want to make sure everybody can hear me. Can I get head nods? Can you all hear me? Okay, good. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So as I said, we're thrilled to have you. I want to tell you a little bit about us before we get into personal introductions. The Education Alliance, I'm sharing right now some numbers with you so you can see we're part of a very large statewide network whose mission is to bring business and community partners together for the good of students in public schools. The numbers you have in front of you represent the work that the Education Alliance did last year. You can see we served 39,000 students. We formed 203 school and business partnerships. We brought in and leveraged over $1 million in support of all of our programs. And we could not do what we do without the wonderful volunteers who are all over the state of West Virginia. We have just over 2,500 volunteers. I encourage you at the end of our talk today to go to our website where we have lots of examples of what these partnerships are and the communities that benefit from the Education Alliance's mission. All right. All right, so tell a little bit about us, and then we want to hear from you. So as Olivia said, I'm Sally. I am a North Carolinian who moved to West Virginia after college and decided to stay. I have twin sixth-grade boys. And I'm going to ask you all to share an interesting fact about yourself when we get into our introductions, but I am the first person to go to college in my family. So I did an internship when I was in high school at a hospital, and that led to my first job out of college was working as a healthcare reporter for CNN. So you never know what you will learn or the connections you'll make in an internship. Olivia?
Thank you, Sally. Yeah, my name is Olivia McCuskey, and I'm the Director of Strategic Engagement with the Alliance. I'm originally from West Virginia. I'm from St. Albans, and I used to play basketball. And a fun fact about me is that I have actually explored a live volcano before in Hawaii, which was really cool. So at this time, I'm going to stop screen sharing. That way we can see everyone's faces if you do have your cameras on. And at this time, I'm just going to ask you to take turns unmuting yourself I'll start with Brianna Dotson, and if I mispronounce your name, I do apologize. But if you could for me, share what your name is, what grade you're in, where do you attend school, and then one fun fact about yourself. And like I said, I'm going to start with Brianna, and you can, does everyone know how to unmute yourself? You should be able to do it in the bottom left corner where it says mute. You'll click on that. Brianna?
Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
I'm a sophomore
There you go.
at Christianville High School. And one fun fact about me, I'm going to be one of like the first people in my family to go to college. I want to be a nurse, and I love to help people.
That's awesome. Very cool. Do you have any idea of where you would like to maybe study nursing?
Yeah, I want to go to Bridge Valley, the technical.
Wonderful. That's awesome. That is wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing. Jacob, I'm going to ask you to go next.
Hi, I'm Jacob Gillenwater. I'm a junior at St. Albans High School. Fun fact about me is I play I go to Ben Franklin too, the Career Center, and I'm on the robotics team, and we got into the final bracket of the WB State VEX Championship.
Wow, that is awesome. Where were those held?
I can't remember exactly where it was held. There was a bunch of different locations for the thing. It was at some college. I don't know.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, cool. And Jacob, do you know Colin McCuskey?
I don't think so, no.
That's okay. He just graduated from St. Albans. He's my brother. I was just curious. All right, that's awesome. The robotics team, very cool. Thank you so much. And then, Kalia, did I say that right? I apologize if I didn't.
Hi, I'm Kalia Yang.
Kaylee, I am so sorry about that. I will remember that from now on.
It's okay. I'm a junior at George Washington High School. I play tennis, and in the future, I want to be an OBGYN.
Wonderful. That's awesome. And I'm going to follow up with a question similar to Brianna's. Do you have any idea of where you'd like to study?
I'm hoping to apply for the Marshall BSMD program.
Great. I'm partial to Marshall because that's where my sister goes. So I hope it all works out.
Thank you.
Very cool. Thank you. Let me do the next row. Sure. Cheyenne?
Hi, I'm Cheyenne Rose, and I'm a junior at Van High School. And a fun fact about me is that I play volleyball.
I couldn't hear all that. I'm sorry, what? I couldn't quite hear you. What high school did you go to, or do you go to?
Van High School.
Oh, Van. Okay, great. Wonderful. And you said you played volleyball?
Yeah.
Very good. Awesome. Thank you so much. Great. Addie? Addie Davis?
Hi, I'm Addie Davis. I'm a junior at Grafton High School, and a fun fact about me is I coach a Little League basketball team.
Boys or girls?
It's a mixed team. It's like a church group.
Well, coaches are important. That's great leadership. Thanks for doing that.
Welcome.
Jace Larch?
I am Jace Larch. I go to Riverside High School and go to Carver Career Center in advanced manufacturing, but they change the name every year. And I was the manager of the class before all the school was shut down, so that was my fun fact.
Great. Thank you, Jace. All right, let's go down our screen. And help me if I'm mispronouncing. I apologize. Is it Yemen Kai?
Yeah. So, hi, my name is Yemen Kai. I'm a 10th grader at Hurricane High, and an interesting fact about myself is that I used to live in Ireland.
Oh, wow. How old were you when you lived in Ireland, Yemen?
I think I was 12, so yeah.
Okay. Very cool. Beautiful place. I hope to see it one day. Thanks for sharing. Peyton, is it Belinsky?
My name is Peyton Belinsky. I also go to Hurricane High School, and I'm also a 10th grader. And I play football.
Great. Thank you, Peyton. How about Aiden Kittle?
Well, my name is Aiden Kittle. I'm a junior at Grafton High School. And my fun fact is I'm sitting in base right now.
Aiden, could you repeat that?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I heard that you said that you're a junior at Grafton.
Yeah, I'm a junior at Grafton. My fun fact is that I'm sitting in a basement right now.
Oh, gosh, I'm sorry. Do
Oh,
you have a
it's
window?
fine. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for making time to join us this afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
And looks like we have Josie. And Josie, you're going to have to help me with your last name. Is it Schottker?
Yeah, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, my name is Josie Schottaker, and I am a junior at Sissonville High School. And a fun fact about me is that I'm a singer.
What kind of stuff do you like to sing, Josie?
I'm in a show choir. So
Nice. Very cool. Great. Thank you so much, Josie. And I'm going to ask Amelia if she can introduce herself as well and share a fun fact.
And
Amelia, try again. You were muted there for a second.
can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can.
Okay, sorry. This is not really a fun fact, but I have not very good internet service at my house. So I have to use the phone. But I did want to say that last year I was able to be a part of the summer internship program and see all of the interns that participated. And it was impressive, both from the business point of view. They really stepped up and provided just amazing experiences for all of the interns. And then from a student perspective, I was just blown away last year at the quality of students that we had participating and how they gave 110% to their internship. And it was just really, it was life-changing, I think. So I'm excited for this year, although it is virtual. We're all game to try this new path forward, and so I look forward to working with all of you guys. And I guess the only fun fact I would share is I like to swim.
Thank you, Amelia. And I'm not sure if everyone could hear Amelia at the beginning, but Amelia is actually our president and CEO of the Education Alliance. So we obviously cannot do this at all without her. So we're really appreciative of her giving her time to hop on today. And thank you all for sharing, information about yourselves and the fun facts. I mean, I think the fun facts really help me remember each of you and some of your characteristics. So I appreciate you playing along. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again so we can go back to the PowerPoint. And real quickly, if you ever do have a question,
you can either unmute yourself and ask it, or it might be a little easier if you use the chat feature down at the bottom. You should see a chat window, and you click on that, type in your question, and we'll get to it as soon as we can. And then we will also have a section towards the end with any questions and concerns you have. So either chat it to us when you think of it, or write it down to remember it, and we will allow time for questions later on. All right. So real quickly, we wanted to talk a little bit about the West Virginia Ready Graduate Profile. And to kind of give a background of this, in 2018, the Alliance partnered with business and community and educators across the state to convene a panel of leaders to develop what's called a portrait of a West Virginia Ready graduate. And this consists of the knowledge, skills, and characteristics that you see on the screen now that you know, educators and business leaders and community members feel that is imperative for students to have when they graduate high school to be able to enter the world and be ready, you know, to go to college or find a career path or whatever it may be. And they all recognize that the world that we're living in now is vastly different than even 5 to 10 years ago. So a lot of the skills that, you know, a lot of the business and community leaders, you know, it was important when they were in high school or where they were coming out of college, it's very different than what is required of students today. And so they just wanted students to have a good snapshot of some of the skills they need to, you know, come into a career or college and be ready to contribute it and feel prepared. And I'm going to give you a couple minutes to peruse this list, and I'm going to bring up a poll if I can. Figure out how to do this. Okay, so what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to look at each of the 3 buckets. So we have world-class knowledge, college and career skills, and life characteristics. And if you could, I'm going to bring up a poll for each of these buckets, and I want you to think back throughout your educational career so far, or maybe in your sports career, or you know, like robotics, we had a couple, or show choir, you know, whatever it is that you, you know, a hobby or your school, think back on that and pick out one of the knowledge, skills, and characteristics that you felt like has helped you get to where you are today. And so I think the first one we're going to bring up is the world-class knowledge. Can everyone see the poll, world-class knowledge? Someone give me a thumbs up if you can. Okay, I see Amelia shaking her head. If you can answer that, I see that someone's already answered it. Go ahead and click on that. Just whichever one you feel like has been most important to you, or you feel like you have the best handle on so far. Oh, I think you need to go too. Sorry. Okay, great, thank you. And so we have 5 answered that reading and math was the most important for them so far. 3 answered that knowledge of arts, social studies, STEM, and world languages has been the most important. And then 4 answered that career awareness has been the most important. None for financial literacy, but I can tell you when I was in high school, I was not financially literate at all, so don't feel bad. I think that's pretty across the board. Okay. All right. So I'm going to bring up the next bucket. Give me just a second. All right, this one is college and career skills. If you could, please just pick, obviously it would be more high school related, but pick which one you feel like has been the most helpful to you thus far. Okay, great, thank you. All right, and you should, let's see here, great. All right, so everyone should be able to see the results this time. That was my fault last time. So 3 answered that teamwork and collaboration has been the most important. Innovative problem solving and creativity also had 3. Organization and self-direction was the most with 5, and then career-appropriate technical and computer skills with 1. Okay, so actually, can someone share with me how one of their answers, why they chose one of the answers as, you know, something that's been most helpful to them? And if you can just feel free to unmute yourself and share with the group. I'll begin. For me, teamwork and collaboration was probably the most helpful skill that I learned in high school, just because I played on a sports team, and I felt like that really allowed me to learn to work with lots of different personalities, and that's carried over as I've gone in my career. So I think that's been super helpful. And I will pick someone at random if someone doesn't answer. So, Jacob.
I chose the career appropriate technical and computer skills. It was kind of a hard choice between teamwork and collaboration and that one because I use those both a lot. But I chose the computer skills one because I personally feel like being technically and computer literate, I guess, is infinitely useful in today's workforce, pretty much.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much, Jacob. And I like what you said that, you know, teamwork and collaboration has also been helpful to you. I'm sure we can all agree that there's, you know, not just one that has been helpful to us.
Right. They all have their values.
Definitely. I definitely agree. Thank you so much. Can I get one more volunteer for me? Why did you answer? Why did you pick your answer?
I chose organization and self-direction because I have a lot of extracurricular activities, and throughout high school, I feel like organization is part of time management, and it's important to like manage my time and put the more important things first, or more necessary things first.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much. All right. Wonderful. Thank you both for sharing. I really appreciate that. All right. And then we're going to do our last bucket, which is life characteristics. Let's see here. Oh, sorry. Let me get to the correct poll. There we go. Try that one. Which of the following life characteristics have been most helpful to you so far? Okay. So I'm going to share mine. I'm going to ask somebody to share one of theirs. I selected strong work ethic, perseverance, and grit. And I wondered, it's interesting now that I see some of the results, I wondered if, because of your age, if this was something that you would relate to, but it looks like 3 of you also, or 2 more, agreed with me on that. I can just tell you from being an employee and also being an employer, you have to have your work staff has to be committed to, 1, showing up, but also doing the work. And many times in my career of about 25 years, maybe things didn't turn out the way that I had planned. So you learn from that and you persevere and you just continue. I think confidence is really an important characteristic that plays into that also. So I would encourage you all to really look at where your confidence is and maybe develop some skills so that you feel more confident in your work. The top, we had 7 responses to ready to learn, fail, and improve. Would someone who selected that share with us an actual experience where you failed and learned to improve?
see. Can you pull? Okay, I can't see who selected that. I'm going to ask.
I guess if no one else will go, I'll do it. So I selected that one.
Jacob, you selected that?
Mm,
A little bit about it.
So an example I have is, well, pretty much the entirety of the robotics class I was in. We had to build a robot to do a specific task, and it was difficult. Like, we had to keep trying to figure out like why stuff wasn't working. Stuff didn't work like all the time for some reason. We just had to figure it out. So there was a lot of just trial and error and learning from our mistakes and improving on that.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. I know some of you in your introduction from, coaching, certainly imagine that there's been a lot of working with your teammates and your athletes to help them learn, and when they make mistakes, to figure out how to improve. You'll see that as you advance through school and early working experiences, how important that is. Thank you all for sharing that.
Great, yeah, thank you all so much. And let me try and get back to where I need, there we go. So the next thing I really want to talk about, and the reason we share this portrait of a graduate with you is because the summer internships really stemmed out of this idea of a portrait of a graduate, and the business leaders and the educators and the community members that help put together these knowledge, skills, and characteristics that make up this West Virginia Ready graduate profile really wanted to give high school students some real world learning experiences prior to graduating high school. That way they could, take these on paper skills and really apply it to a real life experience. And another question I wanted to ask you is, if you could, please look at this profile and pick out one skill or characteristic that you would really like to work on this summer through this virtual internship experience. And so Amelia, if you don't mind, would you share one experience or one skill or characteristic that you would like to kind of work on or have the Alliance work on this summer?
Sure. Well, I think, can you go back to the list? Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, there we go.
That's okay. Okay,
there we
so
go.
I think one of the things that I would really like to work on this summer has to do with civic engagement. With the whole coronavirus crisis from this past spring, we've all been sort of very isolated and stuck inside, and we've been doing these Zoom calls and that kind of thing. But I think as the Education Alliance starts preparing for our role in how we can help schools and teachers and students restart school in the fall, and also how we can help business partners engage in that process, I think the whole idea of really being engaged in our communities and developing more civic engagement is going to be important. So that's my answer.
Great, thank you, Amelia. And now I'm going to ask if everyone could just share which skill or characteristic they would like to improve upon this summer. And, and this is something, if you pick it now, you're not married to it. If you end up really improving on another skill this summer that you weren't ready for, that's totally fine too, but just kind of off the top of your head. And I'm just going to go down the list of names that I'm seeing. So Jacob, if you wouldn't mind starting us out, please.
If anything, I'd probably have to say work ethic, maybe.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Okay, wonderful. And is it Kalia? I'm sorry, I'm butchering that again, I know. Can you help me again one more time, and then I swear I'll get it right from now.
It's Kalia. It's okay. It's hard to pronounce.
Kalia. Okay, I am so sorry. I will remember that. Kalia. Okay, go ahead, sweetie.
I would like to be more flexible and adaptable because I feel like I'm very structured and I like to stick to a schedule.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Yeah, and that is important to learn to roll with the punches a little bit, especially in today's times. So thank you so much. All right, Aiden, you're next on my list, if you don't mind.
I would have to say verbal and nonverbal communication, especially since we're talking here on the computer. May be important in the years coming up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. Josie?
I would like to work on my confidence and my abilities.
Great. All right, wonderful. Thank you. Let's see here. Is it Jace? Is that who is next?
Yeah, it's Jace. I want to work on organization and self-direction because I can easily just get off track and do other things. So
Definitely. I am right there with you. That's a good skill to work on. Thank you. Brianna?
Okay, I would pick inclusive and open-minded so I can just like as much as I can and cover all like bases, all grounds.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Addie?
I would like to learn career awareness because I'm going to try to be a pediatric nurse, and I think it's very important to learn.
Wonderful. Yeah, thank you. Cheyenne?
I'd like to be more open-minded and out all opportunities rather than just certain ones.
Sure, definitely. Yeah, it's good not to pigeonhole yourself too much. Yemen?
I'd like to work on my work ethic.
Okay, great. Thank you. And let's see here. Did I miss anyone? Trying to.
Me, Peyton.
Peyton. Is it Peyton? Okay, I'm sorry. My list keeps changing on me.
I would like to focus on teamwork and collaboration because I usually want to get stuff done by myself and not rely on others.
I totally understand. Yeah. All right, wonderful. Thank you, Peyton. Was there anyone else I missed? Okay, wonderful. We really appreciate you all sharing with us. And again, this list is something we will come back to, but these are just good skills to have, not only, as you're going into, finishing out your high school years, but these are things that I still learn and work on every day. So I don't think this is something that we'll ever stop working on, but it's good to be aware. So moving on, we just wanted to recap the 2019 internship opportunities. Last year was our first year of the West Virginia Ready Summer Internship Program, and we had 3 host businesses: Cabell Huntington Hospital, Toyota Motor Manufacturing of West Virginia in Buffalo, and then Appalachian Power. And among those 3 businesses, we had 10 student interns, and they were able to do in-person internships, but it was still a 4-week period like you all will be doing. And as Amelia referenced earlier, this was a program that we weren't really sure how it was going to go at first, but all of the students had life-changing experiences and they learned so much. A lot of them are still in contact with the kind of mentors they had at each business, and that has been instrumental in helping them kind of shape what they want to do after high school. And I'll also add that all 3 businesses that we worked with last year were super excited to do this program again this year. They all said that their employees and they themselves learned so much from the students as well. So, the host businesses and the mentors that you all be working with, they will learn just as much as you all will throughout this experience. And I think it's been really helpful and exciting for them as well. we're gonna play a real quick video. And if you cannot hear this, please let me know, and we will just like email it to you. But this was some of the experiences from last year.
Hi, my name is Jacob Fletcher. I'm 16 years old. I am an 11th grader at High School. Last summer, I interned with Appalachian Power, the engineering side of it. The internship, I was kind of expecting just going into a job environment, and then that's just giving us an overview of it. And it was really different than that because they gave us more hands-on experience so we could actually learn what it's like to be an engineer in a company like Appalachian Power. Not expecting as much as they did. They were really prepared and knew what they could give me to do and help me learn more about their company and what a real job does. One of my favorite examples was I was working with the meter electrician, and we had to go connect meters in some of the houses so we could read the power, and he let me put all the parts on to get it running.
Benefit from like Toyota,
A lot of different skills and characteristics. The most were like how to communicate with people in your work, and most of them were a lot of work to me, so I had to learn how to communicate with them. And I also learned how to do hands-on work because at the school I don't get as much opportunity, but at that Appalachian Power I just see a lot more. I think the most valuable part of this internship was learning how to actually be in a real work environment. This was the first job I've ever had, so I didn't know what to expect, and it really taught me like what I'm going to have to do in the future in a real job. I already had a plan of engineering in the future, but I didn't know, like, I just wanted to because my dad was. But now, like, I really enjoyed the engineering part of the job, so I really feel like I want to continue that in the future. I just want to say that, like, how great of an experience it was because it taught me so much, and I really have a better idea of what I want to do in the future and what jobs I like and dislike now. I just want everyone to be able to do that so they can learn what they want to do in the future.
Okay, so that was one of the student interns, Jacob, who went through last year's summer internship program. Obviously, they're at Toyota. On our screen now, and this is, as Olivia said, last year, those first 3 businesses who partnered with us, who created such a successful pilot program last year, all signed up for this year, in addition to many others. But due to these pandemic circumstances beyond our control, we, and especially the healthcare providers, I think we all can really empathize with what they are dealing with in a hospital environment, and they are not able to participate this year. So some of you who mentioned going to nursing school and being in healthcare, I wish it was different, but I can promise you that the skills that we shared with you on from the West Virginia Ready grad and the portrait, those skills cross over no matter what area you decide to work in. But this year, our virtual internship hosts will be Dow, Toyota, and West Virginia American Water. Between the 3, right now, we've confirmed 14 internship positions. So we want to tell you a little bit about what that internship experience is going to be like. And also, if there's, just to maybe head off any confusion, and certainly we welcome your questions. You may have applied for one of these businesses in the initial application process, or perhaps the internship that you are most interested in doing is no longer available. But because these are virtual, these business hosts can actually work with more students. So we think we've created a program where you will be actively engaged. You're going to meet with mentors on a virtual basis. You're going to work with us, and then you're going to work with your teammates. So let's go over a little bit of that. Okay, so this year's virtual internship really is the month of July. With the holiday that first week, we thought we'd start the next Monday. So this will be 4 full weeks beginning on or around July 6th and ending the end of the month, the 31st. I say on or around because we have to still really be flexible and adaptable to the business hosts and their needs. The requirements to participate. We'll talk a little bit more later about the application process, but since it's a virtual internship, by way of you participating today, we can see that you understand technology is a big piece of this. Many of us have issues with connectivity. So we need to have each of you a technology device with video capability. It's really important, and that can be a phone, a laptop, or a tablet. The experience, what you are going to have by participating in this summer internship is every week you're going to get a new training module, and there will be takeaway tasks. We didn't want to call it homework. There will be a weekly check-in with your mentor on that training module and the West Virginia Ready Grad component. Then each week, so on Monday, you're going to meet with your mentors. And then at the end of the week, you're going to meet with us, Olivia, Amelia, myself, and maybe other staff members here at the Education Alliance. But we're going to help guide you with your training module for the West Virginia Ready Grad. I'm sorry, that was your mentor. The third bullet there that I was highlighting is that you'll meet with us to work with your capstone project. You all will be given a capstone project by the employer, and what we're really excited about is we have challenged them to come up with something that is truly a need that they have, that is a challenge in their business. And I think with the innovation and creativity we're all having to come up with to work in this virtual work environment, we think there's a lot that we can learn from you. So there will be a capstone at the end of the 4-week experience, and you will do a final presentation to all of us via Zoom. Any questions about the timeline, the requirements, or what we expect you to experience? Okay. If not, let's go, let me share a little bit about the capstone. And I think Jacob may have mentioned this in his presentation, but this is actually a photograph from the capstone project. This may have been at Toyota. But what the businesses are going to come up with this year for you as these teams work for these 3, Dow, Toyota, and West Virginia American Water, so we've asked them to come up with 1 to 3 problems for you all to select from. And then you'll work in teams to find a solution, and then you'll present that as part of your final presentation, which is required to successfully complete this program. Olivia, I don't know, can you share any experience from last year's capstones, or perhaps Amelia?
Want me to?
Yeah, please.
Sure. I'll just give you an example of there was a manufacturing company in the northern part of West Virginia, and they actually had a ramp, like a physical ramp that they used when they were transporting their manufactured goods, and the ramp was not functioning properly. So they gave the challenge to the students to redesign the ramp. And the students worked in teams, and then at the end of the project, they pitched kind of like Shark Tank. They pitched their different ideas back to the company, and the company actually ended up using one of their ideas for how to redesign their on-ramp in the manufacturing facility. So that's just an example.
That's a good example, thank you. All right, no other questions or comments. Let's go to the next slide. There we are. All right, a little bit about the application process. We know the application that you completed initially online, we have reviewed those, but again, because the number of opportunities, and also for you to know, we had almost 170 students apply for our summer internships. One of the things that I think is exciting about having you involved this year is we'll take the things that worked well and the things that we learned from this year's virtual experience and combine that with the success of last year's in-person experience. And in summer of 21, I believe we'll have a very different, sort of a hybrid summer learning experience for interns who are interested. So your feedback is really critical to helping shape this program going forward. So the application process for these 14 opportunities, I want you to answer a question and answer it via email. We want you to think about, with the current obvious pandemic restrictions, how will your participation in this virtual internship benefit you? One, as a student, and whatever your educational path is beyond this summer. We hope everybody returns to school this fall, but even beyond that, or as a member in a current or future workforce. I know some of you probably have jobs. I think what you'll learn through this summer internship can make you a more effective and maybe a more satisfied employee. We want you to limit your answer to 200 words and touch on or make a compelling case for why you would be the best candidate for one of these internship opportunities. It will be competitive. Once you put together your narrative, I want you to email it. I'll, of course, have your email unless you're using someone else's computer, but make sure we have your best contact information. And I don't mean like your mother's cell phone where we can't ever find you. We want to be able to talk to you and have an email so we can send you information. And then you can just send that to me, Sally at the Education Alliance, Sally at educationalliance.org. And because it's just a 200-word question, we'd like you to submit that by June 8th, by the end of the workday. So that's 5 p.m. Then we'll have a panel review your applications, and we'll get back to you, and the internship, those who are selected, will begin almost a month later.
One thing I'd want to add too is I know we said a phone and an email, but I know for some people who may not have great cell signals at their house, maybe sometimes like Snapchat is a better option to get in touch with you because the Wi-Fi works better on your Snapchat app than your texting or something like that. So if that's the case and it's easier to get in touch with you with your social media handles, please let us know that in your email response and give us your the handle that is best to use and what social media platform is best, whether that's IG, Twitter, Snapchat. If that is something that you would prefer and it's easier for you, please let us know, because it is important that we are able to get in touch with you. Any questions about the application process? Okay, we want to open it up to you now to ask any questions. We'll do our best to answer it. Anything that you might be concerned with or you wonder about with this summer internship experience.
I had a question. Will the instructor tell us what time they're going to ask for the meeting beforehand, or is there going to be a pre-selected time specific?
Jace, that's a good question. We don't have the times finalized, but we think for scheduling purposes, the mentor at that business will work with their interns to determine the best time. But we did say the Monday, Friday check-ins, Monday with the mentor, Friday with us. That way we all, continue to work and progress in this experience. But I don't see any reason why the group that's working together might not come up with the best time for them.
Yeah, and one thing, I think Sally may have touched on this a little bit, but like every Monday, I think the training module that you'll learn, and these training modules will go over some of those skills and characteristics that each business specializes in, found on the West Virginia Ready Graduate Profile. So every Monday, that will likely happen at the same time. So you have a standard time Monday to log on and view the module and interact. I think the mentoring call I think they'll likely keep it at the same time every week, but that will be something that you and your mentor will work out a scheduling time that works best for both he and she and you. And then every Friday, the check-in call with the Alliance with your team members to check in about your capstone project. I anticipate each team having a set time every Friday that we check in at. That way it's just simple. It's something you all can plan for and you know what time to be ready at. So I think the only times that will differ week to week might be your mentoring check-in with, whatever business mentor you have.
And the time, not the actual time that takes place, but we would plan on an hour or 45 minutes for some of those calls.
Yeah, so the training module every Monday will be around 45 minutes with, both the video and then, having some conversation after. The check-in call with the Alliance, I anticipate will be, between 30 and 45 minutes every Friday. And then your call with the business mentor will be between 15 and 20 minutes every week. So that's not quite as much time, but it is more one-on-one attention. So you'll get a lot packed into those 15 to 20 minutes. And then you will have to meet with your team throughout the week, but that's something that you and your team members will work out the best time and the best way to do that. Is that helpful, Jace? That was a really good question. Thank you.
Yes, that's very helpful. Thank you.
Okay, great. And one thing we did forget to mention is, while the in-person summer internship, it was going to be, you were going to have a salary and things like that. Unfortunately, while that's no longer the case, we do want to provide some benefits to you all. And so, you'll not only get like swag materials, different things like t-shirts and hats and things like that that the business has that they give to their employees. You'll also get a certificate of completion for completing the internship program. And you'll also receive, at the minimum, a $100 gift card for, completing the internship. While that's not quite the salary we had in mind at the beginning, it is a little incentive and it'll be helpful. And then one thing that, we can't really put a price on is the contacts you'll make. Like I said, a lot of our students last year, they are still communicating with the mentors and people they worked with at each business, and they're helping them, get into certain certificate programs, associate programs, keeping them updated on job availabilities once they get out of high school. So those are also some things that are incentives that, don't quite transfer to paper, if that makes sense. Any questions or concerns about that, about kind of the benefits? Okay. Any other questions at all? Jace, that was an excellent question. I'm sure there are others.
Will the mentors be one-on-one or one per team?
Great question. At this point, we're anticipating the mentors will be one-on-one, so you will have an individual call with a mentor, but at the most, I anticipate it would be like a mentor and 2 students. So we're trying to break it up into much smaller groups, depending on, the business's time each week. But it will definitely be more one-on-one time than just like your whole team.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And that will be something to the business mentors. There'll be questions and different scenarios and things that you all will work on together. It's not something where we expect you to get on a call with your business mentor and, you know, just already have a list of things that you know you're supposed to ask them that we want you to prepare for. I mean, we are going to create like templates and things that you and the business mentor can follow. That way you get the most benefits during that mentorship time. So you don't have to worry about preparing anything for that. Okay, well, if there are no more questions on that, let's advance to our, I think it's our last slide. And yes, there we go. Our group photo will look very different this year. We'll apply our creativity toward that. But we wanted to give you our contact information. Olivia and my information is there. Again, I encourage you to learn more about what the Education Alliance does. We've done a whole lot as a response to the community need during COVID, something Amelia alluded to. You should go on to our website and read how many people have been fed and how many students have learned through virtual learning. We're really proud of the work we've been able to continue doing. And we also look forward to what we're going to learn from you all. So we appreciate your interest, your flexibility, and look forward to reading your responses. You can email me anytime with your response as part of your application, but you also can email me or Olivia at these addresses if you have any questions. And you're welcome to call us too. So, and it might be better to call or text us on our cell phones because we're also not working back in the office right now. So if you would like to give us a call, please use our cell phones and you can feel free to call us at any time. Okay. Well, it is 3:01. We had planned on an hour. I think it's been 1 hour exactly. If there are no questions, thank you all for your time today. Stay safe, and we look forward to working with you. Thank you all. Bye-bye.